Leo stood in the middle of the large training room, his hands slightly trembling. The cold metal floor beneath him echoed as his boots shifted, his mind racing. This was his first day at the Intergalactic Military Academy, and he had no idea what to expect. The academy, known for training the galaxy's best soldiers, was made up of cadets from all across the universe. Aliens of every shape, size, and strength trained here, and Leo, one of the few human cadets, felt small and out of place. He had been nervous for days about this moment, the first real test of his ability. Would he be good enough? Would the others see him as weak because of his human limitations? These questions clouded his mind as he faced the challenge ahead. Before him stood an obstacle course designed to push cadets to their limits. It was legendary, with obstacles that seemed impossible to overcome. There were traps, walls that moved, and simulations of alien creatures that could harm anyone who wasn't prepared. But Leo wasn't worried about the course itself. No, he had faced tough training before. What bothered him was the creature sitting silently beside him. The pup. It was no ordinary creature. This pup was from a species known as the Predators, one of the most fearsome beings in the galaxy. Predator adults were deadly hunters, capable of incredible strength and intelligence. But this pup was small, younger, and far less dangerous. Leo eyed the pup nervously. It was lying on the floor, its sleek black fur blending with the shadows. It had large amber eyes that watched him closely, almost as if it were sizing him up. The pup's sharp teeth glistened as it yawned, not an ounce of fear in its body. To Leo, it seemed like a ticking time bomb. Would it attack? Would he be able to control it if it did? He didn't know. "Don't worry," a voice suddenly echoed from behind him. He turned to see his instructor, Commander Thrix. Thrix was an imposing figure, tall and built like a stone wall, his scales gleaming in the light. He was a Predator too, one of the most respected officers at the academy. His smirk was enough to make anyone feel uneasy. "This will be your first test," Thrix continued, his voice calm but commanding. "You will work with the pup. Complete the course together. Prove that you can earn its trust." Leo's heart skipped a beat. "Wait, what do you mean, work with the pup?" he asked, looking back at the creature. "You can't be serious." Thrix raised an eyebrow. "You think this is some kind of joke, Cadet?" He walked toward Leo and placed a hand on his shoulder. "You'll learn soon enough. The pup's instincts are as sharp as any soldier's, maybe sharper. It's young, but it's already deadly. If you can make it through this challenge with the pup by your side, you'll prove your worth." Leo swallowed hard. The thought of being paired with such a powerful creature made his stomach churn. What if he couldn't handle it? What if the pup didn't listen to him? What if it attacked him instead of helping him? "Don't let it intimidate you," Thrix said, reading his thoughts. "It's not about being bigger or stronger. It's about working together. This is your chance to show you can do that." Leo nodded, trying to steady his breath. He didn't have much choice, did he? With a final glance at the pup, he walked to the start of the course, trying to ignore the knots in his stomach. Thrix pressed a button on his wrist and the door to the training chamber slammed shut with a loud clang. The sound echoed in the empty space, and Leo felt a cold chill run down his spine. No turning back now, he thought. The obstacle course began. The first challenge was simple enough. A row of steel beams lay ahead of him, positioned just high enough to trip up any careless cadet. He could hear the soft clicking of the pup's claws against the floor as it moved beside him, staying close to his side. Leo took a deep breath, adjusting his body to jump over the first beam. As he jumped, he caught a glimpse of the pup moving alongside him. It was fast, its movements calculated and smooth. It jumped over the beams without breaking its stride, keeping pace with Leo. For a moment, he felt a surge of hope. Maybe this won't be so bad, he thought. But then, just as they reached the second section of the course, things started to get more difficult. A large net shot from the ceiling, and Leo barely had time to react before it fell toward him. He ducked, but the net still caught his shoulder, dragging him down to the floor. Before he could recover, the pup sprang into action. With a speed Leo couldn't match, the pup bit the net's ropes and ripped them apart. Within seconds, Leo was free. The pup turned back to him, its eyes gleaming with what Leo could only interpret as satisfaction. "Good job," Leo murmured, his voice shaky as he stood up. He wasn't sure if he was speaking to the pup or trying to reassure himself. The creature had just saved him. Was it possible they could work together? Could he really trust it? "Keep moving," Thrix's voice echoed through the chamber. Leo took another step forward, the pup following silently behind him. The next test was a simulated battle with alien creatures. The floor shifted, and a group of terrifying, lizard-like creatures appeared from the ground, their eyes glowing with hunger. They were fast and they attacked in waves. Leo's heart raced. He knew he had to act quickly, but he couldn't help but freeze for a moment, uncertain about how to respond. Before he could decide, the pup charged forward. It lunged at one of the creatures, sinking its sharp teeth into its neck. The sound of the battle filled the air as the pup tore through the enemies with incredible skill. Leo stood there for a moment, stunned. Then he snapped to attention. This is it. This is the moment I have to act. Leo rushed forward, picking up a nearby weapon, a blade designed to take down the creatures. He fought beside the pup, moving with precision, trusting his instincts and the lessons he had learned. Together they defeated the creatures, the last one falling with a powerful roar as Leo landed the final blow. He stood there, panting, covered in sweat, but feeling a sense of accomplishment. The pup stood beside him, its chest rising and falling with each breath, its eyes locked on him as if waiting for some kind of praise. Leo didn't speak at first. Instead, he smiled. "We did it," he whispered. The instructor's voice came over the speaker again. "Well done, Cadet. You've passed the first challenge. But this is only the beginning." Leo took a deep breath and looked down at the pup. He still wasn't sure how things would turn out. But one thing was clear now. He had earned its respect, and that was more than enough for today. The training room was quiet for a moment, the sounds of heavy breathing filling the space. Leo stood beside the pup, his muscles sore from the previous challenges. He could feel the weight of his exhaustion pressing down on him, but he couldn't afford to stop now. The course wasn't over yet. The instructor's voice echoed through the chamber again, his words calm yet full of authority. "The final challenge begins now, Cadet. Complete it, and you will prove your worth." Leo's heart skipped a beat. He glanced down at the pup, which was still by his side. Its eyes were fixed ahead, its posture alert as it seemed to sense the danger that was about to come. Leo took a deep breath, feeling the adrenaline rush through his body. There was no turning back. This was it. The floor shifted beneath them, and a series of tall, menacing walls began to rise. At first, they seemed like just another obstacle. But as they continued to rise higher, Leo realized they were trapping him in a narrow corridor. The walls moved slowly, but they would close in completely if he didn't act quickly. He turned to look at the pup, who was already moving toward the first wall. The pup's strong legs propelled it forward with speed and agility, its sharp eyes scanning the area for any sign of danger. Leo quickly followed, trying to keep up, but the walls were coming down faster than he expected. "Stay close," Leo muttered to the pup, urging it to stay with him. The creature glanced back at him, then continued its path without hesitation. As they neared the first set of walls, a loud screech echoed in the distance. From behind the walls, more creatures appeared. These ones were faster, more aggressive than the previous aliens Leo had faced. They hissed as they moved closer, their long claws scraping against the metal floor. Leo's heart pounded in his chest, but he didn't hesitate. He had learned something during this challenge. He couldn't be afraid. He had to act, and he had to trust the pup. The pup was already ahead, darting toward the nearest creature. With a fierce growl, it lunged, taking the alien by surprise. Its teeth sunk deep into the creature's neck, and with a swift motion, the pup tore it down. Leo followed, using his blade to slice through another creature that came too close. They worked together seamlessly, Leo providing support while the pup took down the biggest threats. Every strike, every move was calculated. Leo had learned to read the pup's actions and predict what it would do next. The bond between them was growing stronger, and with it their teamwork. As they fought their way through the maze of walls and creatures, Leo couldn't help but feel a sense of respect for the pup. It was more than just a creature of instinct. It was a fighter, a partner, and a warrior in its own right. The fear he had felt earlier was slowly fading, replaced by admiration. This was not a test of who was stronger, but who could work together. And he was learning that the bond he was forming with the pup was something far more valuable than just brute strength. The walls continued to close in, but Leo wasn't focused on them anymore. He was focused on the pup, on the way it moved, on the way it fought beside him. It was as if they were one, united by their shared goal. They cleared the last group of creatures and reached the final obstacle, an enormous door that led out of the chamber. The door was sealed shut, but Leo could see a panel on the side. He rushed toward it, knowing he needed to disable the lock before the walls completely trapped them. The pup followed closely behind, standing guard as Leo worked. He quickly typed in the code he had memorized during his training, but it wasn't enough. The door wouldn't open. The walls were almost closed now. Leo could hear the grinding of metal as they moved in closer. He turned to the pup, his mind racing. What could they do? The door was locked and there was no time left. Then Leo saw it. The pup was staring at the door, its head tilted slightly as it watched the lock. It seemed to be thinking, its instincts calculating. Leo had no idea what it was planning, but he wasn't about to question it. With a sudden burst of energy, the pup charged toward the door. It slammed into the control panel with its full force, its sharp claws scraping against the metal. There was a loud crack and the lock disengaged. The door opened just as the walls began to close in completely. Leo quickly dashed through the opening, the pup following close behind. They had made it. As the door slammed shut behind them, Leo collapsed against the wall, breathing heavily. His body ached from the intense physical and mental strain of the challenge. But there was a smile on his face, a sense of pride that he had never felt before. The pup sat beside him, its body heaving as it too caught its breath. It looked at Leo with its intelligent amber eyes, and for a moment, Leo swore it was smiling. The instructor's voice crackled over the intercom once more, this time filled with approval. You've done it, Cadet. You've passed the test. You've earned the pup's respect, and that's something most of the galaxy will never achieve. Leo couldn't believe it. He had passed. But it wasn't just the pup's respect he had earned. It was his own respect, too. He had proven to himself that he was capable, that he could adapt and survive. And that, more than anything, was what made this victory truly meaningful. As the door to the chamber opened, Leo stood tall. The pup trotted beside him, its posture proud and confident. They had faced the impossible and come out victorious, together, and that was just the beginning.